Welcome, and thank you for joining us on another edition of Intentional Living Live, where we explore different areas we can live our lives more intentionally, more on purpose. And I am Marian Haran. I am a health and wellness expert and independent consultant with Arbonne, and I am joined today with
I'm Tina Fenton, and I also am an Arbonne consultant, and I am a foundational yoga therapist and health enthusiast, still learning on this journey.
Yeah, right. So, what we're going to be talking about today, or this week rather, is something that I think really sets a foundation for how we go about our whole day. I've learned if you can win your morning, you can win your day.
Yeah.
And what better to win your morning with a fantastic morning routine, right, Tina?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's key. It's key to the rest of the day. I always tell people the way you start your day, at least you're up here, and then you know you've taken care of you first before anything else. And then whatever happens, happens the rest of the day.
Yes. Yes. So, why don't you take me through what your typical morning routine is?
All
And
right.
then I'll share a little bit about mine, and then let's just hash it out. What
All right.
works? Yeah.
All right. So, one thing I've learned over the last 3 years, and keep in mind it was Lyme that has made me do a 180 with my life and realize that I needed to bring habits in that supported me with my wake up call. Usually that's what happens. We get a wake up call and then we change something. So I had an extreme wake up call. So what my morning routine looks like, I'm waking up from 7 to 8 hours, at least a night of sleep, at least, and I wake up with no alarm.
No alarm?
No alarm. I make sure I go to bed early enough that I never have to wake up with an alarm, because it immediately sets our body into the sympathetic system, that fight and flight. So an alarm immediately puts us into that fear mode that something's going to happen, and we startle ourselves, jump up, and we've now just started the process in our body, the day of full stress, which we're on all day.
I didn't even know that. I didn't
Yes.
even know that, Tina. Thank
So, I mean, of course, like if I have to get to an airport at 5 a.m., but I
you.
would say that's once a month that I set an alarm. I wake up on my own every day, and it's a great way for the body, because when we start that fight and flight, it's hard to come back out of it. It sets the tone.
Yeah. Well, and then if you're waking up without an alarm, or if you're waking up with an alarm, or maybe not, maybe it's your kids that are waking you up, because that's what my life used to be. I used to wake up when my kids woke up. So it was like I would already be behind the ball because
Right.
they're in need of this. They're ready for breakfast. So go ahead, continue on. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. It's true. I'm sure many can relate with
So
that.
stressed out. So stressed
Right. So,
out.
and people say, well, how do you get to bed so early? Well, I shut down early. I shut down electronics early. I stop working. I silence my phone, and I ease myself into my evening routine. So I wake up in the morning. I'm pretty refreshed most days, 7 to 8 hours. And the first thing I do is support my body. So I get up and I do my nutritional plan, my supplements for the morning, my digestion plus or gut health, my antioxidant, and my green drink for the morning. So
Okay.
I used to be addicted to coffee. I let that go. Yep. Fizz helped me let that go, Arbonne's Fizz. And I do these supplements first thing in the morning. I support my gut health, and then I have my green drink. And while I'm drinking that, then I come into silence in this wonderful seat, like that I might as well just have.
It's really cozy.
It is. It's super cozy. It's my little corner. And I do my inspiration. So, what inspires me every day? So, I have two videos I watch every morning. They're only about a minute or two each. I watch them every day. And then I close my eyes and I breathe and I visualize the day, my future, my dreams, where I'm going to be in 5 years, where I'm going to be in 10 years. And I journal from that. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of meditation, it's a little bit of visualization, and then I write it out. And I journal
Yeah.
like I'm already there. I'm already on my way. And then I do my gratitude, what I'm thankful for that day. And then I go, then the rest of the day depends. It ebbs and flows. But the first 30 minutes of my day is that's how it starts. And if it doesn't happen, because like there's chaos with the dogs or whatever, I feel it the rest of the day. I totally feel it. So those 30 minutes are that. And then if it's a slower morning, then I'll do another 20 minutes of inspiration, a podcast or I'll read in one of the books that I'm currently reading, personal development books, and prepare my day of food if I have time. Or I try and do that the night before if I know I'm not going to have time in the morning. So that's how my day begins.
Yeah.
What is
Sounds
yours?
sounds like it's on a wonderful trajectory. Well, I am very much like you, Tina. Before I really like started this venture, I would be, sleep in when I want to, feel groggy. I never wanted to get it up with the alarm. I would snooze it like two, three times. But as I ventured into this realm with Arbonne, I started learning more from people that I really respected what worked best for them to become more successful. So people like Rachel Hollis and Hal Elrod and Mark Hyman and Sean Stevens and Tom Bellier, like they all adapted this wonderful morning routine that helped influence them to gain more success in their careers. And, I'm just like, I like having success in my life. I'm a Capricorn. So anything to kind of make my day better is really what I wanted to kind of go for. So I would try it. And just like you, after I've been doing it for like a couple months, if I don't do it, my day is completely shot.
Absolutely.
Like even this past Thursday, I didn't do it. I was so miserable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I do in my routine, I like you, I prioritize sleep. So I aim to get at least 8 hours of in bedtime.
Mhm.
For me, I like to wake up at 5:20 to give myself 2 hours before my kids wake up. So
Nice.
I aim to go to bed at 9:20 every night because that's the 8 hour block. Do I
Yep.
always fall asleep at 9:20? No. Do I adjust my time? Let's say I go out for a date night. If I go to bed at 10, I will adjust my alarm to like 2, which I use an alarm to help me wake up. I haven't gained that level.
Think about that. Like, notice
Yeah.
how your body is when that alarm goes off in the morning.
It's like, Alexa, stop. So, but I really, like I said, prioritize sleep. I have a really wonderful bedtime routine where I do a little meditation in bed. I wear like the blue blocking glasses. I make sure I leave my cell phone downstairs.
That's
So if I get any
huge.
notifications, I'm not checking them. I
Yeah.
am 9:20, I am in bed, it's bedtime. Another thing I do as soon as I wake up in the morning, I work out my body. So, what this does is it really helps connect my mind and
Yeah.
body unit together. Whether I'm doing a 10-minute quick sun salutation yoga with some stretching, or I have really found the Peloton to be super effective for me. A lot of people like Beachbody, like everyone likes their own thing.
Or my virtual yoga studio.
Yeah, as long as you have something that makes
Right.
it easy, but also fun. Because if it's not fun, like, no, it's not going to be wanting to do it. And so, like, sometimes,
Movement, any form of movement, walking, dancing, put on some music with the kids and dance, anything you can do. And I'm doing my paddle routine right now because I'm getting ready to hit the water
yeah,
soon. So I'm on stability disc with a weighted paddle in my space paddling.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, movement of the body, like you said, that connection of mind and body.
Well, it's not just the connection, like getting into our body, but it also is a wonderful way to practice discipline.
Yeah.
So the discipline of doing something that maybe sometimes you don't want to do. And
Absolutely.
over time, what you do is you really gain credibility with yourself. And sometimes I even challenge myself. And when I do a challenge and I push myself and I succeed, it builds my confidence to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something so wonderful about like, I'm going to say, I'm going to do 100 burpees and doing it. I mean, starting your day with a win personally is fantastic. And if you're moving your body, that's a great way to do it. So then after I move my body, I move my mind. So what that includes is a meditation, 10 minutes. Like it's a way to really practice slowing down my mind
Mm-hmm.
because as the day goes on and all of my stressors keep attacking, it's going to allow me the ability to take that pause. It's a
Mm-hmm.
practice of calming myself down when life gets overwhelming. And it's really fantastic. Also, fun fact, Tina, you probably know about this, but when we're meditating, it puts us in an alpha wave state with our thoughts, and they're more creative, they're more inspired and problem solving. So sometimes before I meditate, I'll even ask a question like, this issue is really bothering me. What should I do? What's the answer that I'm wanting to seek? And half the time by the end of the meditation, I have a wonderful insight on how to tackle that problem.
Mhm.
So, meditation, so I move my body, I move my mind, then I get and I plan out my day.
Mhm.
I plan my day. I look at my calendar. I look at my to-do list. All right, what are my priorities today? If I'm still in the alpha wave state, I can kind of like get what the priorities are done quicker. But it's nice to just take a snapshot and see. And then when I'm done with that, I go to nourishing, my nourishing activities. So my two nourishing activities, I nourish my body. I do the green shot, which is the greens balance, the digestion plus, the skin elixir. Sometimes I add the full control, depends on how close I'm eating to when I'm having my green
Mhm.
shot. But then I also do things to nourish my mind. And whether it's like you do, like listen to an inspirational podcast or a book on tape. Like I have like 4 books that I'm constantly rotating. I love listening to podcasts. There's this idea, the more ideas you have coming in, the more ideas you have coming out.
Wow.
So if
Mhm.
you want to have a lot of ideas, listening to other people's is a great way to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I do. And then, for breakfast, the kids will come down. I'll make breakfast, I'll make lunch.
Nice.
I continue on my day, but like if I don't have that set time that I can devote to myself and being, this is what Marion likes to do. Marion likes to learn and grow and quiet down and move my body. I know it's the right thing for me. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, you don't go, okay, these are the routines and their habits. And some researchers say it takes 21 days. Some researchers say it takes 30 days to
yeah.
create a habit. And it can easily fall apart. So you need to come up with strategies to remind you. Like for me,
I love that you're bringing it here. I love that you're bringing it
well,
here.
because it's people are saying, okay, great, you both have this amazing routine. How did you get to that? So for me, it started with the nutrition.
Mm.
Everything has ebbed and flowed over the years. So the nutrition was first, and the alarm thing. Actually, alarm started around COVID, the beginning of COVID,
Wow.
because I wasn't having to get up as early.
Yeah,
You
because you
know, I
go.
would. Well, I
Oh,
noticed on weekends I felt so much better how my days started than during the week. And
yeah.
then during COVID, everything relaxed more. And I realized the difference my days were without an alarm. And I was like, okay, an alarm can't come back. If that means I have to go to bed 30 minutes earlier. And another thing was sleep. People are like, well, I don't sleep well. And that's why I need the alarm.
Well, that's why you need the nutrition.
Room darkeners.
Yeah.
I use the sleep well spray, the melatonin.
Hmm.
I keep my room at like 65.
Do you have like a down comforter?
I do.
Because
And I open the windows.
like want to be bundled up at
Yeah,
night.
no, I do, but I put the windows open so that the room is cold because then you
Yeah.
breathe better. The hotter the room, the more stuffy we become. So that snoring comes into a play, all
Yeah.
the things that disrupt us. And then how your quality of sleep is also based on how are you sleeping, like your body's positions and the bed you're using, and are you propping? So many people lay flat. This is my yoga therapy here. So many people lay flat when most of our bodies can't handle laying flat because our lumbar and our thoracic spine. So, and our
Yeah.
sacrums, especially women have issues with their sacrums and their hips from bearing children.
Well, I think
So,
it's 'cause you hold a lot of emotions there too.
exactly. And we're all locked up. And we're even more locked up because everybody's sitting virtually all day. So, our
Yeah.
psoas is all tight. And when we lay flat, we're opening everything up, which is then pulling the thoracic spine up. And people don't even realize they're arching their back while they're sleeping.
Yeah, no.
So putting pillows under your knees, try that and see how you sleep.
When I had back pain, that's what my chiropractor recommended,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not something I continue.
They, because some chiropractors say you can't sleep like that always, but if you're someone that's moving through the day and stretching throughout the day and not just sitting all day, having pillows under your knees isn't a bad thing
Hmm.
when you sleep, because you want to sleep as sound as possible. So we could do a whole session just on sleep.
I know,
So
maybe we should. Stay
so
tuned.
yeah, but with habits, like for me, the nutrition, I had it on the counter so that when I came out into the kitchen, it was facing me, nothing else, not the
Okay.
coffee. The coffee was put away because I cut coffee out, and it was on the counter. And every morning, that's the first thing. It was ready to go. The jar was there and all the supplements I needed. So that was my reminder that you need to do this right now. And then, as it's progressed, I love how my body feels in the morning,
Yeah.
and I have alarms in my phone for the meditation and the inspiration and the journaling, because the journaling is the hardest one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, journaling's really hard for me. So that one is a reminder.
We avoid it. We avoid it.
Right, right. So, at 7 a.m. every day, an alarm goes off my phone, but I've already been up an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah. So you're kind of
An
in the.
alarm goes up in my phone, and it reminds me to watch my 2 videos and to do my journaling.
Well, I'm really glad you brought up the alarms on your phone because that's one way that's really helped me create the habit for myself. Like
Right.
anything that you want to do, if you don't schedule it for yourself, it's not going to, you're not, you, if you want to make it a priority, if it's something that you really want to do, you need to schedule it in. If every day, wake up, work out, meditate, write,
Yep. It should
journal.
be in your date. It should be in your phone or in your
Yeah.
date book
I
or
mean,
on your
30
to-do
minute
list for the
30-minute
day.
blocks. Or I like to have a poster. Like when I was first learning, I was very inconsistent.
Sure,
I was
I was too.
and I wasn't getting the success because I was so inconsistent. But now after like, I don't know, I would say 2 straight years I've been doing this.
Yeah.
It's really, I really see the benefits now. And it hurts to not do it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, when I don't do it, it totally takes me off.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to bring up, there's a couple of things that have helped me along the way. Um, the alarms, the post-it notes, laying it all out ahead of time, planning ahead, the to-do list, the calendar, whatever you need to remind you. And then, but part of it's in our own mind, and we get negative and we get lazy and we get distracted easily.
Or
So,
we put it off because we don't
right,
think we're worth it.
right, exactly. I mean, that could be a whole nother one in itself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, two people I wanted to mention that you can go out on your own and research more information on them. And they're all over Facebook and Instagram and everywhere right now. But
Yeah.
Mel Robbins has her 5 second rule, the countdown: five, four, three,
She
two,
helps me
one.
get out of bed a lot of times. Like,
Well, I mean, she uses that. So you can Google her most famous TEDx talk about it. I mean, there's so many of them. And she
I'll
talks
put it in
about,
the show notes.
okay, excellent. Excellent. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whenever you have a negative thought or you're talking yourself out of doing these habits, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because we're rewiring the brain in that moment. I just watched her last Monday. I took an all-day
Okay.
training, and she calls it lint. The lint from your dryer. We want to get rid of the lint. So you
Hmm.
want to peel it away and let it go because it fogs us up.
Yeah,
So
sure does.
peeling away the lint. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw that lint out. Get up and move.
Yeah.
Even if it's not what you were originally going to do, get up and do something. Don't let the thoughts take over your mind. So that's the first thing that really does comes to mind for me, that helps me when I have stinking thinking and want to give up. And then the other thing is, you like that stinking thinking?
I love that. I say it all the time.
Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk. Jay
Oh,
Shetty, yeah, he has an acronym called saying time. And if you do these 4 things, this acronym, to help shift your mindset daily, other things start to fall in place because we start to feel better about ourselves. So the acronym's time. The first thing is thankfulness or gratitude. So starting your day with something you're grateful for,
oh, I should have
or a
put
few things. Like I do gratitude every day.
that's the
Um,
journaling.
right. It shifts the mindset. So if you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, think of the acronym time, that first thing, thankfulness, and that'll help you get out of bed. inspiration, what inspires you. So that's different for every one of us, and it will ebb and
Why?
flow.
Why?
Right, your why, but like, does videos in the morning, does reading quotes, does listening to music, podcasts,
Vision board.
vision boards, whatever it is, what inspires you. And it doesn't have to be lengthy. It could be 1 minute. That's it. You could have quotes on your mirror that you read every day.
But actually looking at it. Don't just like blow by.
Right.
You have to actually like
Right.
train your body to like, hey,
Like
look.
I used to in my apartment, I would write quotes right on my mirror with a dry erase marker.
Oh, yeah.
And I would change them periodically and read them every day. And then the third thing is meditation, or people are afraid with meditation. So I want to talk about it as mindfulness, checking in with yourself, checking in with your physical body, and checking in with the thoughts in your mind. And Jay Shetty talks that the fact that you become aware of your thoughts, you're on your way to being mindful and meditating. Because some of us are on autopilot. That's 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day that we don't even know. So
Yeah.
so that of time, the M is the meditation or the mindfulness. What's one thing? This is a great. Okay, you might like this too, because I just learned this last week from him when I watched him. What is one thing you can do today that makes today feel like a success? So every day in the morning, what's one thing I can do today that's going to make this day feel like a success? It could be
Besides just like brushing your teeth and breathing.
It could be anything. It could be anything. If it's a day you've like are really struggling, then just getting out of bed is your success. But if
Yeah.
it's a day like you are going to conquer the world, then make that list of what you're going to do that day and do it.
Yeah.
So isn't that a great question?
I
What is
love
one
that.
thing you can do today that makes today feel like a success?
I think
And
that's a great thing to ask yourself every day.
right, and that's what he said. Every morning, that's part of your meditation. Ask yourself that question. And then the last part of that acronym time is exercise, any kind of movement. Park the car farther out in the parking lot. Walk a couple of laps at lunchtime. Dance, put on music at night and dance in the kitchen, whatever.
Yeah.
Movement, it does not have to be
Squats right there while you're
What?
waiting.
What?
I said squats while you're waiting for your water to boil.
There you go. Absolutely. And because we always say we can't move, and a lot of us, I know I'm guilty of this. If I don't have 40 minutes, I'm like, I don't have time. You could do 10-minute increments, and that's what my personal
5 minutes.
trainer, my personal trainer's always like, just do 5 now and then do 5 later. Then spread them out. Don't give up. Just spread them
Bite-sized
out.
things, bite-sized little nuggets to take it.
Right. And if you show up every day with these 4 habits, time, thankfulness, inspiration, meditation, and exercise, you start to shift that mindset into positive. So those are my 2 nuggets. So Jay Shetty, that's Think Like a Monk. He
Mhm.
was a monk. He's a reformed monk. And Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So those are my 2 nuggets to share.
I would love to share about Hal Elrod's time savers or lifesavers.
Lifesavers, yeah.
But I want to be respectful. I feel like we've been going on for so long.
I'm sorry. I got all excited.
No, my God, this is so great. But I didn't do enough research, I feel like, to do it justice. So I'll just put it in the show notes. If people are interested, they can.
Or maybe we have one about
time savers ourselves.
Just ourselves about that.
Hal Elrod, like all day. I am listening. I am almost done listening to the Miracle Equation.
I'm halfway through.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like just hearing his story and what he has overcome with multiple bouts of cancer. And like, I have a connection to him too, because he got his start at Cutco. And that was like my first job in college I was Cutco sales. Yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. That kind of gave me the idea to try to do this because, or to try to do Arbonne because, hey, Mary, if I could sell Cutco, I could probably sell anything. So.
Very cool. That's
anyway.
Awesome. All right. Well, I hope we gave you some nuggets. And I'm going to say this in the end, slow and steady. I always tell my clients, micro habits create macro change.
One thing
at a time. And as you start to realize I've conquered that one habit, then you bring on another. I mean, I've evolved and I keep evolving, and my habit, it keeps changing every day, so you have patience and compassion, one habit at a time. Micro changes over time will be huge.
big successes.
Excellent.
One day at a time. One
One
day at a
day at a time. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Tina. I had such a
Yes.
good time today.
Thank you. It's always
What are we
fun.
talking about next week?
I have no idea. We're kind of, you know what? And I think we always had a list, but then we ebb and flow based on what our clients are saying to us and
Yep.
what's coming up on our
The
radar.
energy
So
from
I kind of like that we're not tied down to it. I think stay tuned. Like we just know to tune in every Sunday.
or if you have any suggestions, let us know.
Oh, awesome.
We're open. We're
All
open to
right. Sweet. Well, thank you. Have a great night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. See you all soon. Bye.
May the love be with you.
Aww. Aww.